What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great Taco Tuesday. It was raining earlier today, and now it's kind of hot, sticky, and humid. They're calling actually for some rain on Sunday, but I'm not going to take any stock on that at this far out. If it does, we've got a plan for that. That's right. You got to plan for those rainy days, and I have plans for our game day experience. So, one thing, let me know, is the sound better right now? I'm set up using my shotgun mic. As I've been working through and cleaning up the man cave and stuff, I found my wireless microphone here, and actually trying to see if it actually is working right now or not. Hopefully it is, because this actually works better when I'm cooking and doing stuff like that, because then I can turn away from you guys and do stuff, and it's okay because the microphone is literally right here. So anyway, we've got questions on our offensive line. You know, we've got Tyler Smith, who's getting his first start as a rookie, going against Shaq Barnett, which Shaq Barnett over the last 3 years has averaged like 75 pressures. Yeah, that's a lot of pressures. And so he's going to have his hands full. But the Cowboys aren't the only one that have question marks out there. We have to look at Tom Brady and his situation. Tom Brady, who has had an offseason to probably want to forget. He retired and unretired and things. Then there was the rumors about him going to the Miami Dolphins and everything else. And with Sean Payton, that they were trying to get him. Then, of course, he does unretire, and apparently his wife has been not happy, and so he famously said last week, you know, I had shit to do. He had to go on vacation with his wife during training camp for 11 days. Yeah, and there's rumors out there that Giselle is not happy with the way this is and him playing football, and that his marriage could actually be on the rocks. You know, that she's kind of like, you know, I'm sick of this shit of you playing football while I'm here taking care of the kids and getting them to school and doing all this stuff. You know, you need to be a father here for these kids, not taking this 6-month sabbatical called the NFL at 45 years of age. So this is probably definitely going to be the swan song and the end of Tom Brady's era, and then he's going to be taking the Tony Romo school of broadcasting. I ain't mad at him. In fact, he's been playing since all the years he's playing. He's 45. Hey, it makes us old people look good. But we're finding out that this may be a rough season. The interior of his defensive line has been decimated. He lost his center. One of his guards went to Cincinnati. No word on Wirtz if he's going to be able to play with the strained oblique muscle. But even if he does play, he's probably got that strained oblique muscle. He's lost a guard. The backup guard has been injured. It's a mass unit, not to mention that he's lost Antonio Brown and Gronk. And earlier this week, on Sunday, I believe it was, we heard that Chris Godwin was practicing. Chris Godwin, who is one of his best wide receivers and a guy that would definitely be a difference maker, has torn his Achilles tendon, much like Michael Gallup did. And the thought was they were hoping that he'd be ready for week 1. He has started to practice, but he has just said he's not sure if he's going to be playing or not. My thought is that this is basically a covert operation, so to speak, to try and make the Cowboys prepare for him being there. I don't think he's going to be ready. He literally just started practicing without the knee brace this week. So thinking that they're going to try and rush him in, not sure that's going to be the case. Now, late in the season, they ended up bringing in Kyle Rudolph when it was clear that Gronk was not going to be, by at least the beginning of the season, unretiring. It's not to say he doesn't towards the end of the season try and get that one more ring. But at the moment, they know that they were going to be starting the season without Gronkowski. They got Kyle Rudolph. Now, my man Roz says don't sleep on Kyle Rudolph. Kyle Rudolph, though, was about 250 yards. And granted, I know that that was with Daniel Jones throwing to him, and it should be different with Tom Brady. But he has not had a great couple of years the last few years. We think about him, 3-4 years ago, he was playing lights out for a year or two. But since that time, he hasn't been great. And then there, of course, is another name in Julio Jones, who just got there as well. And so now you got two guys that are filling in for guys that aren't as good for Gronk and Antonio Brown. And not having Tom Brady there at training camp for 11 days. Now, granted, Tom Brady is still Tom Brady, the GOAT. But kind of like fighters, that it seems like they get old overnight. I don't know if that's going to be the case with Tom Brady, but I think about how quickly Peyton Manning went downhill. He set the NFL record, I believe, with touchdown passes, and then 2 years later was a shell of himself when they won the Super Bowl. And it wasn't because of Peyton Manning and his 15 touchdowns that they won. It was because of a lights-out defense. He literally looked like he got old overnight. And now you've got Tom Brady, who's got his wife, who's not happy about him being there. You now have Bruce Arians gone, and Todd Bowles is now the head coach. Shout out to Todd Bowles getting his degree, who's now the head coach, who's a defensive-minded guy. You have an offensive line that has all kinds of issues now, and you have a change in wide receivers, and you haven't really been there for training camp. All those things don't necessarily bode well to at least start the season with. Those things are a lot of distractions and a lot of new faces that you have to get used to playing with. I'm not going to say that Tampa Bay is not a good team, because they should still have a really good defense, but even that defense lost Ndamukong Suh. And don't think that losing a big guy in the middle doesn't matter. It does matter. I personally think that Tampa Bay season is not going to be anything near like what it was 2 years ago. I think Tampa Bay has got a lot of issues where they're going to be going backwards, even with Tom Brady. But here's the great thing about football. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what the talking heads out there say. It doesn't matter what former players say. Because in the end, football goes by its own set of rules. And who knows who's this year's Cincinnati is going to be. And who knows what team is going to be up there and fall. It's just football, guys. Just football. All right. I'll be catching you guys a little later. We have a fantasy football draft, I believe, tonight at 8 o'clock. So I might do a little live stream while we're doing that, just to hang out with you guys, because I like hanging out with you guys. All right. Peace.